Ah, living in a big city. Likely one of the best pleasures there is. A lot of street traffic, a lot of noise, and web-slinging superheroes? That's right, everyone. Alpha back again with another video. And today we are talking more about the two Spider-Men, Peter Parker and Miles Morales. Now, they will be getting their own separate video for this, and I will explain that in the second half of this video.
They're not burning something, they're trying to brand someone.
Alright, so as we know, Miles Morales is now Spider-Man as well. Because in the ending of the last game, Miles got bitten by a radioactive spider and ended up moving into his own apartment on his own. Which I say good for him, because, well, when you're a teenager, you should be living on your own if that's what you want to do. But that's not what today's video is about. Today's video is about Miles Morales and Peter Parker, and more specifically, diving a bit into their friendship as the story goes on. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of us have played the first one by now, and we all know that Peter Parker meets Miles Morales officially at Feast. But Morena Morales, who is Miles' mother, somehow suggests to Peter that, well, she doesn't really say it to Peter, but she suggests that Miles should be getting out of the house more to forget the loss of Jefferson Davis, aka his dad. That's just diving a bit into Miles Morales. I will be getting more into Miles Morales in his part of the video. That will be coming up at some point. That was actually going to be coming up last time, but I couldn't record the right footage for it. But Miles will be getting his own half of the video. Rather, he'll be getting his own video on him being Spider-Man. And part of that video might come from Coney Island. Who knows? We have to figure it out as we go. Here we also learn about a new group called the Hunters, which this was an amazing plot line to actually play out, because we hear about Kraven the Hunter a lot throughout Spider-Man, but there's one thing they've never done before, and that is make Kraven the main protagonist in the game. Okay, well, they have done it with Activision's The Amazing Spider-Man 2, but they didn't dive too far deeply into that story like they have with this game. And I see a lot of potential for Harry Osborn in this game. You'll actually see what I mean in the videos coming up in this game, because we're just learning more about Harry Osborn. Like, we were going to be learning in one of our last videos that Harry Osborn was actually held in a cryogenic tank, if you recall the very first video we did on this game, that opening scene where it said 2 months ago, that's the lab where Harry was actually being treated.
What is in that stuff?
I'll get to that in another video. Possibly in a video I'll mark Venom, the Untold Story. Because, well, Venom in this one is someone who we will not actually expect to see.
The rarest flowers in the world.
I'll get to that in another video, but in the meantime, I will get to some more commentary later within this video. This is just trying to crack the surface wide open. We got a lot to dissect in our upcoming videos, but more on this video in a bit.
Were they testing their weapons on that armor? And not a single scratch? Almost an exact replica. Must have been probing it for weaknesses. Can never be too careful with Scorpion. Wait a sec. Would you look at that? Hey, MJ. I have another name for you. Craven. Seems like he's the boss of these guys. And he's here on some kind of hunt.
Craven the Hunter. What's he hunting?
Whatever it is, it definitely involves Scorpion and Lee. Mind looking into this Craven guy in the meantime and letting Miles know what's up?
Already on it. Stay safe.
I was worried Lee wouldn't have any spirit left in him. Being locked away for so long. That man. He's like a coiled viper.
It's all in his file. Gargan was a born hunter. Lee, he was molded into one after all that matters with his parents. Vengeance gives us purpose, like few things do.
When was the last time you really cut loose? 2 years ago?
Around then, when the spider caught me.
Man like that?
Broke half of the chapter. I just hope we get to see it.
How about this? The main Craven wears. You know the story behind it?
Didn't know there was one.
It was some mine outside Savin. There was a man-eater who'd killed close to 100 workers. Craven was young, in his prime, and he tracked the lion easily. Only took a few hours.
Damn.
But when he finally got close enough to draw his blade, the lion was stronger, faster, more cunning. And it was only through luck that he managed to strike a killing blow. And the sensation before that moment.
I know it.
Raven had never been so close before. So he took that mane as a reminder. And like a bloodhound, he uses it to find killers who stink of death. Just as much as the man-eater.
A true hunter.
Get him on the ground!
Alright, so as I said, there's a lot to be said about Harry Osborn within this game. But I'll get to that in another video. But right now, I'm here to talk about the Hunter. And Craven the Hunter. Well, as I mentioned, Craven the Hunter was not officially entered into the game until The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which also was a very good game, but it could have had a better plotline to it. I'm not saying that was a terrible game, I'm just saying it could have been better. With that being said, they did an amazing job developing this game. Both halves of the storyline were actually perfect. And the whole system where you can switch between Miles and Peter, just phenomenal. This game, on my list of games, would get a 15 out of 10. That is right. Above the chart and worthy playing this game. This game, even though I beat it the first time in like 2 days, that's right, it takes me 2 days to beat a game now. This game was a worthy playthrough. No wait, sorry, it took me 3 days to beat this game. Yeah, it took me 3 days to beat this game. I got it when it came out, and I had it beat by, I believe, Sunday? Yeah, I got the game on a Thursday, or Friday, or whatever friggin' day it came out, I can't remember. And I had it beaten by the end of the weekend. That's actually pretty impressive. Less time than the first game and less time than Miles Morales. And speaking of Miles Morales and his protagonist, the Tinkerer, there are little hints of the Tinkerer's stashes around New York City. And speaking of New York City, this map is twice as big as the original map in Spider-Man and Miles Morales, because Spider-Man only had part of New York, only Peter's part of New York available to him. And then you got Harlem, Miles's New York. And then came this game, which combined both Peter's and Miles Morales' New Yorks together, so you can swing throughout the city, throughout Harlem, throughout the Upper East Side, wherever you want to go. And this game was, again, outdone phenomenally. Once again, this game, 15 out of 10 on my list of games. If I had to go further, I would say 15 out of 20. That's how good it is. Anyway, that's it for me. Please enjoy the rest of this video. And I couldn't show all of Miles Morales' part, that cutscene at the end, so we'll be seeing a lot of Miles Morales in the next video, because we'll be doing an entire video based on Miles Morales. So, that's it from me. Like, subscribe, comment, and let me know which villain you would like to see in a Spider-Man game in a Spider-Man game that hasn't been in a Spider-Man game already. Because, well, we've pretty much done every villain. Well, except for Mac Gargan and Scorpion. Well, Mac Gargan, yeah, Scorpion, sorry. Mac Gargan and Martin Lee. But that's it for me. Peace.
Have a nice trip.
Is this the best you can do? They said you were a killer. Imagine my disappointment.
He's not teaming up with supervillains for some hunt. They're his prey. Felicia.